Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a Monday, beginning of the week, so another podcast day for us. I'm joined with co-host Shane and my brother Roman. Brother Roman, are you conscious or are you deep in meditation at the moment?
Not right now.
No, good, perfect. Okay, so the first thing I want to touch on is a congratulations to my brother for being officially ordained as a Baptist reverend with some ties in the church up north of Toledo, if I'm not mistaken, brother.
Got my name right on that sign. But
Beautiful, beautiful.
unfortunately, the city won't let me buy my church back.
Yeah, no, it's true. We did have some trouble with the local government and real estate regarding purchasing a property that has my brother's name on it. It's a travesty, ladies and gentlemen, a true travesty. All he wants to do is preach to his flock. Is that not so, Reverend Brother Reverend?
Huh?
Do you not just want to preach to your flock like you just give him
Of
his church
course.
back? Of course, that's it.
Of course.
Let the man speak the
Good
word of God.
way.
And on that note, actually, speaking of just letting you speak the word of God, you were arrested by the police recently for crimes you did not commit, if I'm
That
not
that
mistaken.
is exactly true. It's exactly true. Well, long story short, I told these cops that I was a reverend, and well, it didn't seem they liked that very well. They chased me around for 20 minutes, tasing me, just doing the worst things.
Ladies and gentlemen, they didn't like that when they heard the words "I'm a reverend," they didn't like it. I'd like you to take note of that. My brother just letting them know he's a man of God. He would never do the things that they accused him of doing. It's all right, brother. It's all right. And they pulled him over on the side of the highway. I tried to pull up, see if everything was all right, because we were on a phone call when they pulled him over for these nefarious deeds, and they wouldn't let me near him. You know, yeah, a man of God, he let him know what he does for a living, preaching the good word, and they threw him in jail and then prison for it. Absolute travesty. I hope you're okay, brother. I hope you're doing all right.
Did all right. Did
That's,
all right.
that's what I
You
like to
gotta give
hear.
me a minute.
Of course, of course. He's just got to take a moment to collect himself, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a harrowing couple of days. And thank you again to Miss Elise Marks for helping my brother out of that situation. Without your help and legal expertise, they may have gotten him on some things that were even worse. So I'm very happy to have your assistance in that. And Shane, how are you doing this evening, my friend?
Going good. Can't nothing to complain about. Had some interesting interactions at Pillbox earlier, but besides that, we're all good.
Interesting interactions. Is it anything you can elaborate on, or
Just
uh,
cops being cops. That's like the best way I can put it.
oh well, our police
The real
officers.
problem in this city is the cops.
That's hey, you heard it here probably last because a lot of people have that same issue. But
hmm
sometimes they come rather aggressive. They're just trying to do the best they can, constantly in fear for their lives. At least I hope
Yep.
they are with all the gangs in the city. But hey, shit happens. It's just all we can hope for is that they do a better job tomorrow. And not incarcerate my brother for crimes he did not commit because he is a reverend of a Baptist church, you sons of bitches. Anyway,
You
I'm
want to know
sorry.
something crazy about while Roman was getting incarcerated or whatever?
Mm.
Um, I was actually driving by PDM yesterday, and like about a 200 gun store that area, and I saw a big green bear just kind of hopped out of a car and start running with like 7 police chasing him, and he ran down through the construction site. And apparently, like obviously, I saw him getting tased and everything like that, and he just kept going. He was out of there. Like he ran for maybe 3 to 4, like maybe even 6 blocks before the PD was even able to catch him. And that's because I saw him get hit by a car. He got hit by a car,
Jeez.
and that's the only way they were able to
Sounds
get
like
him
a
because he started
tank.
running with a limp.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
strange city we live in. We've got like mice that walk on two legs and have human
Mhm.
bodies that
And they're
work
doctors.
at. Yeah, then they're doctors.
Yeah.
I'd like to see his medical credentials. Where did you go to medical school, Mr. Mouse? Because I remember when you were on the street begging for money. But hey, science
You
science
you
is
do know we
incredible.
have a you do know we have a mouse saint in our church, right?
Hmm?
No,
Yeah, Saint Mousington. Yep.
Saint
Saint
Mousington. So,
Mousington.
what exactly is he the saint of, brother?
Well, it's a very long story, but he saved all the cheese in Wisconsin. So I mean,
Wisconsin.
yeah, he's recently ordained as a saint. But yeah, he lived to almost 100 years old as a mouse.
Hmm.
S-
I didn't know. I didn't know whenever mouse were able to mice. My bad. Were able to get like all these credentials out of nowhere to become these big like
Hey,
figures.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's a new day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's amazing what different animals that have human bodies can achieve in this new modern world of ours.
Kind of like that dog with the human body on Sesame Street. Yeah.
Oh,
They
I
were
know who you're talking
brothers.
about. I can't
Remember
remember his
that? There's
name.
two of them.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now.
Mildly disturbing. Yeah, no, I vaguely
Oh
remember
yeah, it
what you're
was. It
talking
definitely
about.
was.
Anyway, gentlemen, so Roman, I know because I actually was covering the event with a body cam. I know you weren't there, Shane. I know
Oh,
you were
oh,
there
oh! I was there.
yesterday, the egg hunt event.
Mhm.
Give me your thoughts.
Fucking the biggest disaster in the entire city. It was, oh my god. Last time I saw a disaster that big is when there was a bomb threat in Pillbox. Like it was bad. Like it was bad. I don't know. I know one person who got something, and that thing was a switchblade. He's the only person I know that has got something from that. So I don't even know if anyone got anything like actually decent.
Yeah, that
See,
person
good
that
thing I'm
got
not the
that
one that got the
switchblade that
switchblade.
got it
I
doesn't
both get
exist.
prizes.
Yeah, dude, hey, hold up, motherfucker. Let me give me what you got in that egg over there.
But hey, I
Hey,
mean, if anyone dig anything good, use hashtag podcast. Let us know what you got. I'm
yeah,
curious to see if anybody
please.
actually dig anything.
Everybody that's tuning in, starting to listen, again, I got to tell people too, if you don't hear anything in the beginning, it will play. It's just, you're probably here in the beginning where we're getting everything set up,
Hmm.
which this time did not take too long. But use the hashtag, let us know your thoughts. We're always happy to discuss any opinions you might have. And yeah, let us know what if you did win anything from those goddamned eggs that
Yeah,
didn't disappear when someone would take something out of them. So yeah, it would just be like people
yep.
running up to empty eggs.
That
If
was
you
me the whole time.
if you did manage to get something, please let us know what it was. I'm very, very curious. Somebody, I mean, the golden egg didn't exist. They ended up removing it from
Really,
the field. I
I didn't even know
believe
that.
that's what I heard. Anyway,
I don't blame them, but at the same time, that was kind of the biggest thing people were going for. So
right.
kudos.
So I'm really,
But I
really
bet it was fun
curious.
nonetheless.
It was
Fun would be an
absolute.
overstatement.
It was absolute chaos, and imagine seeing the world at 10 frames a second.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
it was bad. Let's just say that I got two very small metallic objects implanted into my body at that event. It wasn't very
Um,
fun.
hmm. Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it was. Doran, you should know what I'm talking about. It was bad.
Yep. No, I do
Yep.
very clearly remember what happened. And I'm
Which,
glad you're feeling better.
yeah, I don't know why that was allowed, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now.
The absolute chaos is how I can
Hmm.
describe that entire situation. People were shooting, people were stabbing, people were
Yep.
getting beat. I
There was a
mean,
cop impersonator.
there was a cop impersonator. Detective Hank O'Sullivan, I recognize you very clearly from past medical experience, and there was a man that was very closely resembling you at that event.
Oh yeah,
He fooled me for a hot minute.
fooled everyone until I think you spoke, and people were like, "Oh,
Right.
that is not the Hank we know."
It was hard though because there were so many people there that it was hard to know
Hmm.
whose voice was whose in that chaos going on. And you had to match the mouth movements to the person.
It was bad.
Yeah, no,
Didn't
hopefully.
help that no one really said start and everybody started running. Like no, there was no official starting. Literally everybody just ran. So that didn't help at all either.
Yeah, pushing people into the field,
Yeah.
things like that. It was crazy. The couple of things I can say is, not just to critique, but help provide some constructive criticism. You gotta maybe limit how many, like, put a participation roster or something, and like the first 150
Hmm.
people that sign up or whatever, they're the
Yep.
ones that
Oh,
they're the ones that are able to, participate or at least remove the car situation, get a limo service set up, something like that, and anything to help alleviate. What do
yep.
we got here? I did notice that come through.
I mean, like I've seen a bunch of people say that that event was an amazing idea, like on paper, but
Right,
like it was
right.
not executed correctly, like in the slightest.
I don't think the city was quite prepared
Nope.
for that to happen. And Dave, thank you so much for tuning in with your opinion. I appreciate it. Yeah, chaos was definitely. I don't think anybody
Hmm.
expected for an event in the middle of the day for a lot of people,
Yeah.
or later at night, depending on where you're at in head. I don't think they expected the kind of turnout that they got, and a lot of people showed up. And yeah, they probably should have, like I said, limited the amount of people that could participate, like to first come, first served, deal with the car situation with a limo service, something to make it a little bit better.
Hmm.
Unfortunately,
Kind of
it
like that option.
it went down the way it did. Well, it. So one of the best events that I've seen go off with a ton of people involved was the hotel reopening with the auction that they
Yeah.
did recently, and they
I wasn't able
did.
to make it, unfortunately.
It was really good. They did the limo
Until
service.
somebody shot inside and into the freaking hotel,
Yeah, but
and
see, the
everyone
thing
got
is,
searched, and I lost my
PD.
weapon. Anyway,
I never got searched there, but PD was present for that situation, which was good. They were already on
Hmm.
hand. Blackout security was on hand. There was no security or PD at the egg event, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, in
It was
my
a fake
opinion,
PD, but
right, right, very true. That, in my opinion, that was mistake number one. But mistake number two, again, is if you have the limo service, you deal with everybody's headaches of all of these cars sitting there in the parking lot. They have nothing to do with the event. Like the limo service for the hotel event, they did such a great job getting everybody to and from their cars, to the garages, to the event, to the house auction. Like they had a couple of things they had to do. They did an excellent job. So kudos to, I think it was the taxi company that pulled out limos for it, but whoever it was, they did a really good job.
like when the it would have been better for the egg event if they would have like instead of putting all the stuff in like little trash bags or actual like egg capsules they have to go and pick up, if they would have done it like a prospecting sort of situation, where if they just like made it so you
Hmm.
had to have something out, as in a metal detector maybe, I don't know, and go around picking up stuff like that. That'd make it so at least everybody's guaranteed something. Could be good or bad, but at the same time, I think that might have been a little bit harder to do, but it just would have been a better outcome, I think.
Yeah, at least people wouldn't have been grouping up as much as they were
Hmm.
on objects that didn't even have anything inside. Like people were just undercutting each other. Like you want to see the greed
Yeah,
in human society? Put some
it
fucking
was bad.
eggs with some money in it down on a field and watch what happens. Holy shit. People were running up on each other trying to get the bag to open because they basically were like garbage bags painted like an
Yep.
egg.
all right.
I
Here's something
But yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
Here's something interesting. A man named Ka. He says tips for new people in town.
hmm. Um, I okay. The one tip I can think of, the main thing: meet people, make friends, make
Making
some
friends
connections.
makes
Hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm. Connections
Communicate.
will be your best way. Yeah.
Communicate and
But
socialize, definitely.
also remember, not everything's about money. Unless you're into cards, then everything is about money. But until then,
Or property.
or you know what? Maybe it is all about money.
It's all about
Anyway,
money.
but again, make friends and always remember to keep make sure you're not hungry and thirsty. I can't tell you how many times I found someone just like starving on the side of the road, just laying there. I'm like,
Oh, and stop jumping off the OF4 building.
oh yeah, don't do
There's
that
an
either.
elevator.
Yes,
There's an
please. There
elevator
is
for a
an
reason.
There's
elevator.
an elevator
Jesus.
directly north from where you
Yeah.
come out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, like my mistake when I came to the city is I didn't talk to people. Like I would stand at like OF4, for example, and just sit there and would expect people to come up to me. Don't do that. Go up to other people. Go do a delivery job. That's actually how I think you make the most ties. Start a delivery job, meet other people doing deliveries, and then eventually you'll get ties like that, and y'all can go like do stuff together.
Or stand outside the hospital.
That works too.
Begging for money.
You could
Yep.
do that.
I did.
Or,
That's
you know,
what old Zombie used to do. If y'all remember Zombie,
yes, I
Yeah,
see.
remember
Yep.
that
Yep.
guy. He was chaos.
I love that guy though. It's fun.
I'll be right back.
You just got to remember too, anybody new to the city, you know, it's like any other city. You want to try and find the job that fits you best. That's the best tip I can provide. There's gun stores, there's gas stations, there's the EMS, police. There's so many different opportunities in the city to get hired if you're willing to do a good job, work hard, listen to the people that have had more experience. Just find the group of people that works best for you and jump into it and see what you think. Like it's nothing but opportunity. Oh, and if you're brand new, don't forget to search those dumpsters
Oh yeah.
and get some materials you can sell on advertisements. Just pay attention to what other people are selling them for, and you'll get an idea for what you should sell them for.
Right. And what you said about jobs, if you do get jobs, don't expect it's gonna be the perfect job for you. Because I've been a part of maybe 4 to 5 jobs now, and I still don't think I found the one that I perfectly fit in. Until maybe now. I mean, I'm a big fan of the one I'm currently doing. But the ones before, I'm saying I thought they were good for me, but then a week into it, maybe something like that, I was like, I don't know, like this is kind of stale now, and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And they
definitely.
weren't just like regular jobs. Like they were actual like interesting jobs. Like it went like from pilots to EMS worker to a lot of different stuff actually. But just like don't get too comfortable. That's like the best way I can put it. Don't get too comfortable where you're at.
Hey, that's a good life lesson in general, and as you go through whatever you're going through, just don't get too comfortable. Whether it's relationships, jobs, if you're getting feelings where something's not quite right, you're not quite happy, explore other options. Don't be afraid of the unknown because you're getting too comfortable with what you have. If it's not doing what it should, go out and try new things. You've only got so long to live.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the city is just a interesting place to go around and just figure out what you want to do. There's a lot of stuff to do, so don't make up your mind on one thing. Just like keep looking until you're like 100% guaranteed. But I don't think anyone will ever get to that point. To be honest with you, I think it's really hard to get to that 100%.
Well, that's the whole point, right? You learn something new every day. You try new things, new experiences, meet new people. I mean, that's the whole point of either living in this city or living out of city, in my opinion. You do the best you can every day. You get some new experiences, new knowledge under your belt. You go to sleep. You wake up. You do it all over again. I mean, what more? No one can ask anything more from you than just trying new things. And James, yes, I see you. So shout out to my stepson, James.
Interesting fella.
Yeah, no, he's a good kid. How can I come on the podcast? All right, James, maybe you can come on the podcast as a guest speaker at some point.
Oh, and real quick, I don't want to miss this over. Leo Jackson using #podcast, of course. What's the best fast food place? Doran, you wanna tell him what it is?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the best fast food place, hands down, bar none, no competition, is Burger Shot in the city. My grandfather runs the establishment, but there's no bias there. You go see for yourself. They've got an amazing menu. The Heartstoppers, the Bleeders, the Torpedoes now that'll make you feel like absolutely like you just injected 1,000 milligrams of caffeine into your veins and you're ready to go. Like, use use Burger Shot to your advantage. They've got the Alt F4 burgers that might make you feel a bit more fortunate in the city while you're going about doing things like prospecting, searching the dumpsters. There's an amazing menu there, and I recommend you stop by and just get whatever works for you. I mean, there's so many good options. And say hi to the amazing staff there. And my grandfather, Max. That's all I can
He's a
say.
good man.
He is a good man. That's the best fast food spot in the city, in my opinion.
So, hey, Dorian, we got one directed to you.
Yes,
A man named James Kane.
Oh yeah.
He says,
James
"How
again.
can I come on the pod?"
No, I saw it. I
Sorry,
actually just responded to that. I said maybe we
Oh,
can get him
okay,
on as a
sorry,
guest
no,
speaker
no.
at some point. Yep, but yet James Kane. He's that's my stepson. He's a good lad.
All right. Well, I actually got to head out, but I'll probably be back near the end of the pod if you are around for a minute.
Yeah, I mean we
Alright.
will be live for
gotta
a
go.
little while.
I got someone, beckoning me for dinner, so let's go.
Oh,
All right. Roman, do you mind staying for 1 second? I've got to do something real quick, and if you can keep a conversation flowing between the two of you, I will be right back, gentlemen.
all right.
Okay.
So Roman, how did that whole situation even pan out? Because I know you described it a little bit, but the PD thing.
Oh, the PD thing. Okay, so long story short, okay, me and a buddy, and not even a buddy, a kid that was around here. We were talking about, I needed to give me this new necklace. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went to the jewelry store. We walked in. All of a sudden, the gas turns on.
Oh,
Right? Gas turns on out of nowhere. So we're down inside, right?
yeah. Knocked out from the
Cops.
fumes.
Uh-huh. This random guy rolls up, starts pulling us out of the jewelry store, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cops sit there yelling at us about how, oh, I know you're a reverend. I can tell by your necklace, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Well, that's a little much, right? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I was like, can y'all like help us somehow? I don't know what happened. We just walked in and boom, it went off, you know? And he's like, well, you're a reverend. I'm like, and? I am a reverend, and? So, went
I don't know.
around, blah, 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 right? Like 10, 20 minutes, just coming at me about being a reverend, being a reverend, being a reverend.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every time someone walks into jewelry, and that's including me as well. Every time someone walks into jewelry, the cops are always questioning. And they're like, oh, they always assume you're stealing. It seems like.
Man can't buy a necklace.
Exactly. Can't just shop for a ring for the the lady. You know what I'm saying?
What I think
anymore.
is the most suspicious is there's never anyone working at the jewelry store.
That is true.
So
I think it's all like an AI.
All right, everybody, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I desperately needed water. Talking this much, you gotta have something to drink, and I forgot before I went live.
Oh, bait shop.
I'm gonna go in city and tell them I'm back too.
Yeah. So it's like a setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing.
The whole thing's a setup. I mean, they even got cameras inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever walked into there's a room, like when you walk into the jewelry store, if you go to the left, there's a door.
Yeah.
You can walk in there sometimes, and there is actually like a computer, and it looks like it has some kind of like AI system on it. So I thought for the longest time it may have been like an AI ran store, like you know how
Amazon Go
yeah,
stores,
like how some Amazon have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was something like that, but maybe not.
I don't know. It was just crazy because we were literally. I was looking at the necklace. I'm like, hey, I want that one. Press a little bit on the gas and just went on.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Very sensitive alarms. I think.
I mean, it's a good thing, but at the same time, then things happen like happened with me. You know what I'm saying?
They should have a sign somewhere, I think, that actually says, "Don't press on the glass because gas might murder you." You know?
Yeah.
I think it might be like the best thing.
And I am back. Roman, thank you so much.
All right. Just remember, I'll always be around if anyone needs me. You got my number. If you need me to keep you in my my prayers and everything, because I'm a reverend.
Of course.
So,
Yes, please, everybody. And if you'd like to contribute to Father Roman Goodfellow's cause for spreading the good word of God, please let him know, let me know. We're happy to take any donations towards the church, getting our rightful property back so my brother can preach the good word to a congregation as he should be able to.
I appreciate you letting me on the podcast today, guys.
Of course, Reverend
Sorry I
brother.
have to leave early, but
No, I
See
completely
you later,
understand.
guys.
Take care. Take care.
Everyone have a good night. Stay
Have fun,
safe.
Roman.
You too.
What else happened in the city recently that we can talk about?
Well, I will say another recent event was the car meet from
Yep.
Burger Shot, which was we did talk about on the last pod, but still, again, that was an incredible event. What a lot of fun being able to vote on the different models available, vintage, best flex, things like that. Really, really good idea, and thank you, Grandpappy, and all the Burger Shot crew for making that happen. That was a good time.
Unfortunately, I missed the voting part. I came pretty much right when they announced the winner of one of them,
Right.
and then right when they started doing the raffles, like when they started announcing the winners, is pretty much when I came in. So I missed a good amount of it, unfortunately, but for the most part, for what I was there for, it was still a very good held event. Besides the fact that I guess he was calling out the winners and half of them just weren't there. That was
Oh,
one
at
thing
the
that was
very
really
end,
unfortunate.
yeah, that was the very end when Burger Shot was
Yeah.
announcing their personal winners for the raffle, things like that. Half of the people were not there by the end
Yeah.
of it. Eventually, actually, my brother Roman won a little bit of money or something like that from that event. Yeah, because Grandpappy got tired of calling out names that
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
there. He said, "Roman, you win. That's it."
And he was like an undisclosed amount of money in it and just being 50K, but money's money. So
Money
can't really complain about
is
the amount.
no, not it's free money,
Free money,
courtesy of
exactly.
Burger Shot. Thank you, Grandpappy. I'm sure Roman appreciates it. He's just like I said, he's using every cent he can to try and get rights back to the church so he can preach to his congregation. So
I mean, he's gonna need every cent he can get with with what we discussed earlier.
ain't that the goddamn truth?
Oh man. But we do also have events coming up as well. We have two new events I think got announced yesterday. There was another two more racing events I saw, I believe it was. Let me double check that real quick.
Yeah, no, there are a couple events sponsored by a few different businesses in the city that are coming up. While Shane checks, I will say any businesses that are interested in advertisements like the amazing Burger Shot gets, please let us know. We are happy to discuss terms, pricing, what works best for you, what you feel the value is per advertisement. We can work on a business-to-business arrangement as well, the length of the advertisement, whatever you need to work with to help bring the cost down. We are more than happy to discuss advertising terms, things like that. Get it on the podcast for you.
Now, I did double check the two events that just got announced literally yesterday. Literally, I think a couple hours before the Egg event actually was a go-kart race and a D8 race, or Dynasty 8 PDM presents D8 race. Yeah, I don't think that has an actual official name for that one or what it even is, but let me see. Oh no, wait, I see. Okay, it looks like it's just going to be just regular PDM car races.
Yes, PDM between, I believe it's Dynasty, so
Yep.
Miss Ty Galaxy and Elliot Morrison, the owner of PDM. So they are the two sponsors for the event. That is going to be a good time. You bring your PDM cars by, from my understanding. You have a race, see what the best PDM car is. Because, a lot of races in the city, whether they're legal or not legal, they're between import cars. So it'll be interesting to see what the best PDM car is in the city. I think I have an idea of what it is, just based off of what my brother has shown me. But we will see what people bring to the event. It's going to be a good time.
One thing I just noticed that they're doing with this event too
What's
is
that?
I think they might have learned from. Or actually, never mind. This was posted before that event, so maybe not. But they're doing limited 8 slots and 300K buy-in, so it costs 300K to participate.
Yeah,
Right?
see that it's just having a buy-in
That's a lot
fee
of
is
money, though.
better to draw down the number of people that apply, and having 8 slots too. Like whether you charge or not, having a limit to how many people you invite to these events is incredibly important.
Oh, and it's on the casino dirt track as well. So it's actually just a regular roundabout NASCAR kind of track.
Yeah, you're just taking left turns, people. So
Yep.
if you've got
Very easy.
300K to spare, you could win yourself I'm sure they've got some sort of trophy and prize money available, and bragging rights as the best
Oh, it's-
goddamn PDM car driver in the city.
Well, the thing is, it's not even. It doesn't even look like there is any like money prizes. It looks like there's only one prize, and that's for the first place. And it looks like it's going to be a free house in the hills with filled with goodies and a stash, I believe.
God
So-
damn. Okay, so it's literally winner take all. There's no first,
Yeah.
second, third here. It's first place winner gets the house. So bring your best PDM car if the slots haven't already been filled, and if they have, then come down as a spectator because that's going to be a good race. It's going to be a good time.
And and then that's going to be happening on the 17th of this month. And then and then there's another thing happening on the 16th, which is the go-kart race, which is at the actual go-kart track.
Who's sponsoring that? Let me pop
That
over
one is
to my
brought
notes
to you
here.
by Mayor Juice Kaczynski and Benny's.
And Benny's, that's right. Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Kaczynski himself taking some time out of his extremely busy schedule to stop by, schedule an event like that. Having been go-kart racing myself, again, if you haven't been, it's a good time. Whether it's really fun. It's gonna be some crazy Mario Kart type shit. So whether you're coming just to have a good time, watch the craziness, or you want to participate, stop by. You said that was the 16th on that one?
Yep.
Perfect.
And,
Perfect.
This one, unless I'm missing it, which I don't think I am, but there is no just amount of slots, so it looks like anyone's welcome. And there is a first, second, and third place prize pool. Of first gets 300K, second gets 200, third gets 100. So there is money involved. You can win. I don't think it costs anything to enter. So I mean, gets you a chance to get some free money, I guess, and have fun at the same time. So.
There are a couple more events that are ongoing here as well.
Yeah.
So on the 13th, I know that Blackout Records is having an open talent show starting at, 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. That is definitely something, everyone, if you got a special talent people don't know about, something you want to show off, whether it's music. I think there are kind of no holds barred. So bring whatever talent you have. And let's see what you got. That's definitely going to be a good time. And additionally, on the 15th is going to be the Harmony Rave. So I know we have a time set now by Miss Luna, the owner of Harmony, for 8 p.m. EST, but I don't know if we have an exact location. So we'll update everyone on that. Of course, the location of the Blackout event, the talent show on the 13th, is Postal 593. It's going to be at Blackout Records' own recording studio.
It looks like this is the month of events, it seems like, because look, there's also two more events that I don't think you mentioned, but there's Bean Machine's holding an event. Bean Machine and Vanilla Unicorn, they're doing a speed dating event. It's 2,000 enter on April 24th, and
Right.
winner gets an exclusive party day at Vanilla Unicorn with drinks and food provided by both the companies. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you have the opportunity to meet some new people, maybe find someone you connect with, and if you do, the winners of whatever raffle they have going on there, I think, or winner of the best couple for the event, you're gonna get an exclusive date. So
Yeah.
if
and
you
you can invite up to 4 people, it says so.
yeah, and please, y'all motherfuckers, don't be going married or inviting someone that's married. Don't be ruining relationships with this event. I mean, bring single people. Jesus.
And then again, there's another event at the that is April 22nd, which is the RC race. We talked a lot about it a little bit on the last podcast.
Right.
But April 22nd, go-kart track again. RC race. First place is 750K. Second is 450. Third is 300. So that's a lot of money that could be involved. And it's weird because I didn't think races get sponsored by PD, but it looks like this one is. Maybe because it's an RC car race, but
right, not enough.
you have LSPD.
Not actual cars, folks. Remote control, but it's going to be a really fun time.
I'm very interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a ton more events scheduled for this month from what I see in my notes. Like, we could just keep going on and on with what we have. There's
So many events.
Truly, yeah, absolutely. So there's a comedy roast coming up at the comedy club, the RC rally,
Ooh,
real estate auctions. We mentioned the Bean Machine event. So the Playboy Mansion is actually getting some play this month. So we've got an auction scheduled for there on
very interested
the
to see how much that goes for.
23rd. Yeah. So I believe the actual mansion itself is up for sale, but also the property is being used for a masquerade ball on the 30th. So that definitely sounds like a good time. It's going to be 8 p.m. EST from my understanding of the timing. And
Jesus.
yeah, come with your best masquerade outfit, disguise yourself with something amazing, and I'm sure they'll have prizes, things like that. I see too, we've got demolition derbies on May 7th, piggyback racing, and that's going into next month.
Whoa.
So like there's
Oh man.
so many different things coming up for the city to get
A lot of
involved in.
opportunities to make money right now too, as well with these events.
Very true. Yeah, because a lot of them have prize money,
Hmm.
competition awards, things like that. Like even if it's not money, it's special rewards for like
Like
discounts
the
at
House of
different
Goodies, it says.
businesses. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, there's a. I guess I don't know why I don't know why this event it seems like the event, or not why this month seems like the event month. But hey, I mean, can't complain about city interaction. You know what I'm saying? There always need to be something going on so you can meet new people as well. You're not just gonna meet random people out the blue. I mean, there needs to be some kind of big thing going on. Make some friendships through there.
Yeah, but always, I mean, again, you
But be
might.
mindful of the headaches. That's a that's a big one.
Very
Be
true.
mindful of the headaches.
Always get help if you experience too many headaches. Somebody might be able to help you adjust your synapses in your brain, make things a little bit easier.
Some
So,
surgery going in there.
again, folks, just a quick moment to remind you that our biggest sponsor is always Burger Shot, Grandpappy Max, the amazing menu, the amazing staff at Burger Shot. When you're feeling hungry, thirsty, anything, you want a good dessert, stop by Burger Shot. You want a good conversation, even with the staff. Stop by; they'll take care of you. Burger Shot on top,
Yep.
always. And if you want to give us your thoughts, give us something to talk about, any opinions you might have, use hashtag podcast. If you're listening now and you're with someone that isn't, let them know what to do. Let them let them know, go onto the pod or their phone app, Alt F4 radio, hit the microphone icon and press play, and they'll be able to listen to the podcast.
Yes, sir.
And as always, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. We're rolling on about 40 minutes right now, so we got about 20 minutes or so left.
Jesus, time flies.
It really does, yeah. Just, give us your thoughts. You were going to say something,
I was gonna say, have you bought anything recently that you've been wanting to talk about? Because I certainly haven't. I'm just curious if you have as well.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Buying property, buying stocks, buying cars. I bought
Oh, yeah,
a
stocks.
I bought a specialized Camaro the other day in city that my brother recommended. That's a really nice car. I just have to spend the money to get it upgraded now. I just haven't had the time.
Oh, well, cars are always a very big hit to the bank account. That's why I barely buy any. To be fair,
True,
I
yeah.
think the most expensive car I have is a Trackhawk.
This
And
one was
that's my prized possession right now.
this one was pretty cheap. It was only about 150K or so for the
Not bad.
Camaro SS Alpha, I think is the trim level. Nice
Yeah,
car.
no, Trackhawk was only 200, but upgrades costed about 150, so probably 350 total.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still pretty good. Allegedly, I hit up to 170 miles per hour in the city the other day on it, so that was good.
Not bad at all. That will definitely win you some races in the category for SUVs, depending.
Oh, yeah.
Trackhawk Grand Cherokee, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
the Jeep SRT Trackhawk, I believe the full name is.
yeah. Nice vehicle, definitely.
And then I also recently bought a gun that was recently added to the stores. I don't know how recent it was. I kind of forgot, but the Mark II revolver. I don't know if you've tested it out at all.
Yep. Nope. I've owned one in the past. Absolutely.
It is a fucking truck, dude. Like I took it to the shooting range at 200 gun store, and then shot it. The recoil was about the same as my hands are a little weak, so the recoil is about the same as every gun. But when that thing had some power in that punch, I'll tell you that much. I could tell the target thing almost fell off when I hit it with one shot. Kind of crazy how strong that thing is.
Yeah, no, you hit somebody center mass with that
Yep.
revolver, they're not gonna get back up.
Nope. I don't know
No.
if you've used a Beretta either recently, but Beretta takes let's like comparing it. The revolver, the way the power is, I think it's about around 2 shots will put a person like in a state of not breathing. But with a Beretta, it's about a whole 2 mags. It's bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's so bad, but
it does take quite a while. I was target shooting the other day and I hit a target multiple times in the head.
yep,
And it took multiple shots to bring him down, and
that's what I'm
that
saying.
like, well, yeah, I say the target, the
Yeah,
inanimate,
the little dummy target thing. Yeah,
like porcelain target they had set up there. Of course, I wouldn't shoot people, of course not.
of course not.
But the target they had set up wasn't wearing any special protective gear or anything, and that Beretta took multiple shots to the head to take that target
To even
down.
puncture your skin, it's bad.
Yeah, well,
Like,
skin, I
or like
I
the
wouldn't know anything about
the
that.
kind of rubber material on the outside is what I mean. That's supposed to
Poly
like simulate it.
the polyurethane kind of
Yeah, it's just
material.
like
Yeah.
stimulate it, kind of thing. But yeah, like because I don't know if you've seen the videos like the people that make like weapons from like TV shows like zombie shows, and then like they take them against a dummy that actually has like
Right.
red stuff in them to see how much damage it actually do is one
Of
of
course.
those things,
Yep.
right?
Exactly. Yep. The polyurethane
Yeah.
gel. We got the food coloring
Yep.
liquid. All of that. Yeah. That's exactly what we do. We wouldn't
Hmm.
dare kill the actual
Of course not.
people.
Of course not. Of course not. But yeah, like let me like the revolver shot will go right through that porcelain, no problem. Or the polyamide. Sorry, I can't. I'm really bad at words. Will go through that gel, no problem. But the Beretta will like not even puncture it. It's bad.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean, yeah. It's 9mm rounds. They aren't that big. They don't have that much gunpowder in them to make them go super far into whatever you're shooting at. So I guess choose your weapon wisely. If you can get
Yep.
your hand on something a little bit better, I mean, Jesus, a 7.62 round in the AKs, they will go right through somebody. So just
But they
depends
used
what you
not to,
want to do.
remember?
Yeah, yep,
Whenever back when the old manufacturers of them had to turn them down a little bit, like you could hit one of the gel things probably 7 times before it actually started puncturing the actual gel itself. Like it was bad. But luckily they the manufacturers at the fucking corporations, they started filling more gunpowder, making the tips more pointy, and it actually does what it's supposed to do now. So that's a good thing. But again, don't carry around those guns. Those guns are very powerful, very not allowed.
well, if you're gonna carry them around, just be prepared for the consequences.
Yep.
That's all I can say. And again, as we roll on to the last quarter hour or so of our podcast, use the hashtag if you want to give us your opinions, thoughts, anything you might have. And if you know somebody that's not listening to the podcast, fucking get them on the podcast. Hit them up with what to do. It's the Alt F4 radio app, mic icon, press play. Should probably do another tweet about that for folks that might not have been in city when we posted it last. Other than
I
that,
know this has a this person tweeted out something that doesn't even have the hashtag podcast on it, but wow, it's a picture by Janelle Castaneda, I believe I say the last name. That picture is beautiful. Let me say that view.
Miss
It's
Janelle
great.
Castaneda, absolutely. That is an
That is an
excellent
amazing view.
view of that valley up
Jesus.
north. Yeah, that is great photography
I
with the
just saw it
sunset
and
in
I
the
got
distance.
mesmerized.
Yeah, really, really nice. Great job. And of course, Janelle being an employee of Harmony, go ahead and stop by and see her at some point. She's a great person.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
I mean,
again, go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna
I
post
don't
this.
even know. I don't even know what I was gonna say. I was gonna fill some space there. What were you about to say?
No, mostly again, folks, as I just I'm going to be a little more insistent with the hashtag podcast. If you have anything you want us to talk about as we begin to wrap up, please let us know because people think of things after the fact. They say, "Hey, damn, I wish I had said that while you were alive," and it's like, hey, you always have another chance. So hit us up if there's anything you want us to talk about, anything going on in city, anything you have planned, want to promote, little party you got going on. Just let us know what's going on. How's your day going? Let us know what you're thinking.
Let me ask you, Dorian. I don't know if you might know this or not, but if you go on your maps on your phone app, and you go can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So
Yeah, I got you.
okay, my bad. I had a massive headache just now. If you go to postal 722, I believe it's La Flante Blanca. Do you know what is that, or what is owning that?
What's
I'm very interested in
the
it.
what's the postal?
722. Because I went there and like on the doors it has it like says I can unlock them, but I can't. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious of what that is. Or who
722.
owns that?
You'll direct me. Where are we looking?
It's like on the east side of the map, next to the highway, next to the sheriff's office on the highway. You know what I'm talking about?
East side next to the highway.
On Route 13, the sheriff's office. It's right to the left of it.
Yes, actually, I do know what you were talking about. That used to be a bed and breakfast location. There were owners. I don't know what's currently going on with it. I actually once watched a movie there.
Oh,
So
okay.
there,
So I was curious what that is.
and people could rent rooms, things like that. Just a bed and breakfast location. I don't know what the current status of it is. It's a nice spot though.
Very nice spot. Um, do you also know where I'd get Red Bulls from? I've been trying to find them forever, but I've like every store I go to, I just can't find them.
I don't know if Red Bull itself actually exists in this city anymore. Might have banned it due to state
Really?
legislature, but there are energy drinks available at the arcade bar, and the
That's what it is.
torpedo from Burger
Oh yeah, I
Shot
forgot the torpedo does that.
will
That's crazy.
give
I'll just go get those
you,
some of them soon.
yeah, the torpedo will give you the boost you need. Again, our sponsor Burger Shot getting another little slip in there. My grandpappy Max, stop by, get what you need. They also have Alt F4 burgers, which will make you feel a little bit luckier while you're doing things that you're doing in the city.
Oh, real quick, back to the when we got asked earlier about what tips for newcomers.
Yeah.
If one of your main things is money, I recommend going to Burger Shot, getting you an OF4 burger, and then going to the island and go do that prospecting that's there.
Absolutely. Or go up
That
north
is
to the
amazing.
prospecting location because you can find special little goodies in either location. But yeah, grab yourself a couple of alt burgers, max out
Mm-hmm.
on your fortune for the day, go to the prospecting locations. You will have a much better time than you otherwise would have, especially if you're
Yep.
paying for a plane ticket to the island. You want to make sure it's worthwhile.
Yep. There's also a tweet by Tylian Milky Way. I'm gonna let you handle that because I got to go on my head for a quick second, and I think that's more directed for you to talk about anyway. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Thailand, thank you so much for using the hashtag chiming in. I actually love competition in all of its forms. I think the foundation of good business, striving to be better, is good competition. So having Blackout as a potential competitor for music production is fantastic. I mean, we have different focuses on like CD production, the podcast production, so they are able to focus more on track production, which is a benefit to them. But we do have some great artists sign on, and I'm absolutely thrilled for the opportunity to compete with another company, to just offer different things to different artists, have more diversity in the city in terms of companies that are available, because I'd personally like to see that company listed like Rockford Records is on your GPS so you can find it and they could advertise properly. Because again, the more competition, the more diversity, the more variety there is in the city, like different ammo stores, gas station, things like that, the better it is, the better people have to perform. You got to be on your A game when someone might take your shit from you the next day. So I am
All
really
right,
excited
I'm back. Sorry
that
about that.
they were able to get their studio set up. And even still, even if there is competition between the two companies, I am always happy to help Blackout Records in any way I can. I know the owners, as personal acquaintances, and I wish them all the best. And thank you again for giving us something to talk about using the hashtag.
Oh yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I've been having to go in my head for this whole episode so far, and I just finally took that as a chance to go.
No, you're good. I had to for a minute there too, so it's fine. Sometimes you got to meditate. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for people that are new to the city, that's actually another tip we should bring up. If you're going to go into your head and meditate, make sure you do it at your personal residence or somewhere, basically the only place you could do it without having someone's permission to fuck with you is the hospital. So you got to go into your head for a second, let one of the EMS personnel know, hey, can I just sit here for a minute and do my thing? And I'm sure they'd be happy to help, somewhere safe for you to sit. You can't pray about an issue if you went into your head and someone did something to you because you weren't there to say something. It's you're living your life.
One big thing I see people do, like for that example, is they'll just like park on the side of the street, for example, and in their car they'll go in their head.
Right. You're not
and then
safe.
They'll get surprised when they come back and their trunk is broken into and stuff's missing. Like at that point, I hate to say it, but you're entirely in fault for that.
Yeah, definitely. You will you won't have any result if you try to make a larger issue of that. You got to find somewhere safe to do it. Again, really the safest spots to do it are either at the hospital, somewhere like a business that you might work at where you can lock a door, or your personal house if you have one. Other than that, things are going to happen to you. If you fall asleep on a park bench in the city, anywhere, any city, doesn't matter. You might get fucked with.
Yep. Nowhere safe in the city. Besides maybe pillbox, but nowhere safe. You always got somebody lurking around wanting to do something to somebody.
Very true.
Obviously, PD's cracking down on those people, so.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. They're cracking down on all of us, even though we might not have committed crimes that they accuse us of. Anyway, I digress. We've got about 6 minutes left in the podcast, so if you have anything you want us to close out on, use the hashtag. We're happy to shout people out. Anything that you have on your mind, how your day is going, anything you might want to talk about. Not long left before we call it quits on this one. I would call it another successful podcast. Shane, thank you again for joining me. It's been a fun time.
No problem.
Brother Roman, although I know you're here only in spirit at the moment, thank you very much for lending your voice to the podcast. It was a fun time. Yeah, my brother, again, a recently ordained reverend of the Polito Baptist Church up north. It's a great spot, and he has a great message to spread, and I wish PD would stop arresting him for crimes he did not commit, clearly, because he's a reverend. Why would he do such a thing? Anyway.
Let me ask you something, Dorian.
Yes.
This could be a little bit of a weird question. But do you ever just randomly take your wallet out and, like, smell it? Like, the inside? It's like a weird thing to do. Just because, like, the smell of it's like money, and I'm broke, so I don't have any. So I need to remember what it smells like. Like, is that a weird thing to do?
I cannot say that I've suffered from that particular affliction recently. Although the smell of leather is really, that can be nice.
Maybe that's what it is.
And the smell of money, like fresh money from an ATM, just bills that were stacked that day.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. You can smell the ink. You can smell the paper. It's perfect.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do after this podcast. So I do want to go check out that car that was just posted on Twitter and the imports. Looks very interesting. I'm very curious about it.
The Centenario. All right.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
Yeah.
It's a wide body, and I same reason I bought the Trackhawk. I love me some wide body cars. So I need to know what that's about.
Yeah, definitely. That does look like a sharp car. I hope, but I assume it's probably a ticket car. So everyone, if you got your sights set on that vehicle or a few other vehicles that import, just be prepared. But there are
I hope
some.
it's not.
beautiful cars available at the establishment. And again, quite a few of them in the few $100,000 range, under a million, are not ticket cars. So you stop by, you've got 500,000 to spend. You look at something like the Demon. I love the Dodge Demon personally, or the Charger. There is a super ticket Charger that is really, really nice too. But you can get some great Mopar or muscle sport varieties, BMW, Mercedes. There are a few options available that are not super ticket monopoly money related. So if you got some money to spend, stop by Import. Go see Mickey, one of the other great representatives available, because it's always a good time there. I've never had a bad time at Import.
I was actually about to say something about that. You said a good quality car that is fairly cheap, $40,000. We're talking. That is pretty decently fast. Is I think it was just recently added to the city. The BMW E39, very good car.
E39, I'm not familiar. So is that a more sport variety? Is it a sedan? What are we talking? Okay.
Like, and the thing is, they added it to the city. Like, it got imported, right? And like maybe a week later, they had to send it back, and the manufacturer had to tune it down because it was so good. So it did get tuned down. It's not as good as it was when it first came in, but for the most part, it is still a very good car for $40,000. 4-seater coupe. I think it goes around 160 maxed out. I think for 40K, 160 is pretty good.
For 40K, 160 is pretty fantastic, because if you got a good driver behind the wheels, you could do some amazing things with a car like that, depending on the handling.
I believe the handling is just like it's very good handling. I mean, Did you ever used to drive the Grand Cherokee before they sent that one back and changed it a little bit?
Yeah, back in the day before the manufacturer recall. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like that. Like it rides like that.
I'll tell you, these days the Grand Cherokee slides a little too much for my taste. It's still a very nice looking vehicle, but god damn.
That's the car that John drives. He has the Grand Cherokee.
Right. Roman had one for a little while, then he sold it. My brother loves cars almost as much as he loves God.
That's the same thing about the Trackhawk, though. The Trackhawk now slides a little bit, but God, I just love me some wide body cars, so I deal with it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a nice SUV. I mean, it really breaks down to what you're looking for. That's a great four-door vehicle that's up a little bit higher. There are some great four-door sedan options for cars. The Titan, the Nissan Titan. I don't really like Nissan myself, but you can fit 8 people on the goddamn thing as they're hanging off the side of it. So if you're down to some nefarious deeds, for those newer in the city you don't know, check out the Nissan Titan, because it might be the vehicle you're looking for. Of course, the people on the side of the vehicle might not be on the side of the vehicle by the end of the drive. Just be mindful. I mean, but
speaking of vehicles that people can put on the side, fairly recent at least, EMS got new vehicles. The Insurgent, I believe it was called.
It's basically an Army MRAP that this city bought surplus from the Army to use in emergency situations. It's a heavily armored vehicle.
The thing is, though, it's actually not bulletproof. It's not a bulletproof car, but it has the build is one. It's very confusing. The tires are bulletproof, but the glass is not. And
the glass isn't. They spent all this money on these vehicles they couldn't put out for the bulletproof glass.
It was too high above the budget,
Yeah, well, they spent a lot of money on those things. The Dodge Charger also, like the RT model, is available. They have that too. Nice little car, definitely.
But why doesn't? Well, I'm just still so confused about why EMS got the Insurgent, but PD doesn't even have a SWAT car. Like, they have a SWAT car, but not as big as a vehicle like that one. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I'm very confused about why they have it.
That, my friend, is a very good question. It is above my pay grade.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly good question to end on. We are coming up on the last minutes of our podcast. We could do some closing argument or closing comments, things like that. If anybody has any last minute hashtag podcast shout outs, anything you want us to say before we go off the air, let us know. Other than that, Shane, any last thoughts before we wrap things up? Because it is over an hour now.
I guess one thing, if you do want to hear more of me, for some reason, tune in. I believe what's going to be every Saturday. I think
Gonna
we're
be
make it.
Saturday, yeah.
Me and my boy Leo Jackson, we have a podcast. Still kind of working on the name, but right now the current name is
I
LS
never.
for Leo and
Thank
Shane.
you,
Happy time.
by the way,
Make sure to
for
tune in every
stopping
Saturday
by.
for
But
that.
I never
That'll be
hung
fun.
up on you. That
And if
is
you wanna,
not
like I said,
true.
just tune in if you want to hear more of me for some reason. So that's pretty much all I got.
You were being followed. I don't know. All right, fair enough. And again, everybody join Shane, Leo, myself for at least their first few podcasts on Saturday. Time to be announced, but of course we will announce it before we go live to just hear more of voices in the city, different guest hosts, things like that. Just a chance for more diversity, more voices. Anybody interested in setting up a podcast segment, please give me a call. Let me know. We're happy to discuss. Or even if you just want to be a guest host for an episode, to chime in, give your opinion. We're happy to hear from you. Other than that, my personal last thoughts, just everybody, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Make sure you take some time for some self-care. Stay good, stay positive. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, whether it's now or you're watching via video feed after the fact. Thank you so much. This is going to be our podcast for Monday evening, and we'll see you on the next one. And that is essentially going to be it for the stream this time as well. Everyone, thank you for joining me, as always. I don't, for the podcast, I don't get to do my normal introductions for Twitch, YouTube, things like that. But I absolutely appreciate you stopping by. Love you all. Hey, thank you so much, Johnny, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I am just getting ready to wrap this one up, but you too, thank you so much. I appreciate it again. Everyone that ends up watching, whether you stop by now, you stop by after the fact, get those view counts up, subscribe if you like the content. Going to be doing a lot more podcasts, trying for a lot more